and the Marquoyer has it on that wing. Here's a shot. Henderson made a wild snap, work spell. Here's another shot. Right by the score. Henderson has scored for Canada.
All right, so I got a surprise segment for you. I didn't want to tell you anything.
Sure.
And the reason, and I'll tell you what it is just in a second. So every single week, I think for the past month and a half, I would say, after we do a Leafs segment, we talk about the Leafs. I just tell you, I was like, all right, let's not talk about the Leafs. I don't want to talk about the Leafs, right? We're done. And then maybe 1 week will go by and you're fine. And then the week after, you're like, listen, this happened. We got to talk about it. I was like, no, we promised we're not going to talk about it, right? And we kept going back and forth. So I was just thinking about it. I was like, this guy really, he needs to let things out. There's something growing inside you. So I told him, like, all right, you just make sure you wear whatever you want today. But I was like, we need to go through the deeper problem in you. Excellent. So today's segment is, we're going to call it the Penalty Box Therapy Edition.
Okay.
So I'm going to be your therapist today. And we're going to analyze the psychology
of a Leafs fan,
of you, of how you got to this point and what is really troubling you. So give me a second. Let me pull out these questions and we'll figure it out.
Okay.
Right?
Hopefully I can make it through.
Just relax a little bit.
All right. It's hard.
You are not going to be asking me any questions.
All right.
This is more of, I just say stuff.
It's for me. This is the help I needed.
You could take a deep breath and just say how you feel.
All right.
And we'll get to the actual problem.
Or we'll try.
All right. So the first thing is, for all these weeks, whenever you keep bringing up these stories about these Leaf stories are being bothering you, and I've been rejecting it, how did that really make you feel?
Sad.
Yeah, but let's go a little further. Like, what do you mean sad?
Sad. Like, I just wanted to talk about them. They're my team, and like, I just want to talk about it. Sometimes you need to talk. Like, you know what I mean? Like, there's a lot of relationship guys just, suppress it and suppress their feelings.
Yeah.
I just need to talk about it.
Mm-hmm.
So,
do you think social media has anything to do with it, where you see Toronto media just constantly dumping news stories on you? Do you think it's affecting your day-to-day life?
well, sometimes when I'm going into work, that's mostly like, I don't really spend too much time on Instagram or stuff like that, or like TikTok and stuff like that. Most of my time is just like listening to the radio going into work. So that's when you kind of hear it, and you just hear the frustration even amongst the media.
Mm-hmm.
And I feel like, it kind of drops down into the fan base. But even watching the hockey, there's like stuff where you see mistakes and you see like errors, and you just see like the bench. It feels like they don't care.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, how can you not care when you're like doing such a great, like, you have the best job in the world. You're getting paid to play hockey, right? Something I pay to play. So like, you're getting paid to do it, and just, it gets frustrating, right?
Yeah. So when you're saying in the mornings, you're listening on the radio.
Yeah, even coming back.
Right. So are you mostly exhausted from work and you're hearing this, and it's easily affecting your mind?
So I think it starts from the night before, when you watch the game and you get exhausted mentally from that, seeing that. And then when you have to go into work and you're listening to the radio going into work, and you kind of double down on it. And then you carry that into work, and then you're even more frustrated because work was tough. And then you come home, and then it's another day, and you're watching the game again. It just builds up. That's why I was trying to talk about it, and let my feelings out about the team.
So at the situation that's going on right now with the Leafs, what's keeping you up at night?
The success.
That they're winning?
Well, actually, right now it's the fact that they're not losing. The thing that's keeping me up is that they're winning. That's the problem.
Okay. All right. So right now it's a little bit of confusion right now. The team, the times that the team should be winning, they're losing,
and the times they should be losing, they're winning.
Okay. So that's really frustrating that they can't hear you through that TV.
The thing that frustrated me the most probably this last week was they beat Boston. Right? I think Boston came in too, and they're like, hey, we're going to let them beat us because we want that pick.
Yeah.
And then even more, I was listening to Sid Sixero's program, and he was going through mock draft lotteries. And every time he did it, I think once they got a first or something like that. But every other time, it's like they got 6th, 7th, 8th. And he's like, guess what? That's not your pick. It's going to Boston.
Yeah.
So that kind of built on it a bit more.
So I'm going to say a phrase to you, and then you tell me how you feel. Leafs suck. Do you think I'm actually personally attacking you, or do you think I'm attacking your team?
No, it's personal attack.
You think I'm personally attacking you?
Yeah.
Why do you feel that way?
Because I believe, and it's so when you think about the Leafs, it's more than just a team. It's the fan base, the fans, everything that accompanies it.
Mm-hmm.
And like when you attack my team, that's like my family. I feel like you're attacking me.
And how long have you been feeling this way? And how long have you been hearing that around you?
Very long.
So you've just been holding this
That's
anger.
I wouldn't say anger. It's just frustration.
Have you ever let go of this frustration at any point throughout? Let's just say throughout the time this core four was assembled or anything. Did you?
There was a little bit. There was a little bit when we beat Tampa.
Mm-hmm.
I thought that was going to be our year,
And then what happened?
and then we got let down. But then even still, I was like, okay, we took a step in the positive direction. I'm like, okay, this is still new. Like, we're like gonna get there.
Mm-hmm.
We took one step. We got out the first, and then last year, went against Florida when we lost in the way we did.
Mhm.
We were up a game, and I'm like, we just need to finish that. We have 2 games to get
Mhm.
1 win, and we can make it to the next round.
Yeah.
And we didn't, and it's just the frustration is building.
How much loyalty do you have to a guy like Austin Matthews and William Nylander, who are making about $11 million a year?
I don't know. As long as they like for Austin Matthews and Nylander, both still like they're Leafs players. Like sometimes you see the effort they put in, and it's not like there, but still like they're team members, and I support them.
So, but then it just seems like sometimes that you're fighting harder for them than they are for fighting for the puck. Do you feel that way at all?
Well, yeah, I feel like it's sometimes like I said, it's just an effort thing with the team. It feels like sometimes they don't want to win as much as like the fan base, or they just don't like losing as much. Like for them, it's just like, hey, let's just get to the off season. It's golf season. Who cares, right?
Do you think when you need to look for a new story every week and we need to talk about the Leafs because, that's what you feel like doing, do you think this is a coping mechanism for something else? Do you think there's a deeper problem?
I think it is.
Yeah. So why don't you tell us how you really feel? Like, what's that?
Coping mechanism.
Yes.
I think it's just need to talk. So like I think especially Leafs fans, like they take this and they bury it, and then they don't want to talk about their wife because their wives don't care and stuff like that, or their partners.
Mm-hmm.
I think like the good thing about this podcast and this format was I could always come talk to you about it.
Yeah. But now it just feels like,
and every time you
pushing
reject
it
me,
away.
then and that's when I kind of turned to the Calgary fan base,
mm-hmm.
and I'm like, okay, like they've kind of accepted me somewhat,
Yeah.
And now like I'm looking at their team, and I'm like, I want to be a part of this, so maybe makes me feel good. So I've been going to Calgary,
Yeah.
and kind of like
Okay. All right. I see that. All right. All right. Here is the next question. Look into my eyes.
Yeah.
Are you a Leafs fan, or do you just have Stockholm syndrome?
I think it's Stockholm syndrome.
Do you want to talk further about that?
I think I've been abused too much, and now I'm always gonna come back, even as much as like I bought a Calgary jersey, Calgary fan, but I watch Calgary games,
Mm-hmm.
cheer for Calgary, but no matter what I do, I always come back to the Leafs. Maybe I need to move to Calgary.
Maybe. I'm gonna give you an imaginary button right now. All right. Your core 4, so-called 4, Marner's already gone. But let's just include Morgan Riley in this. Would you want them to all be traded? Let's just say hypothetically they all get traded. You get your draft picks back, and you're starting from rock bottom. Would you do that? But all of them will win the Stanley Cup before your team is actually a contender at all. Would you press that button?
And what happens if they stay together? Like we have a chance to win?
No, it's just you're going to be going down this rocky road.
I think I'd push the button. I think it's just the team needs a reset.
Okay. So the you don't have that loyalty to the player. It's just more to do with the success of the team.
No, well, that's what it is. I think it's more so like I'm a Leafs fan.
Mm-hmm.
It doesn't matter who's playing for the team. Like I don't want to see the players do bad when they're with the team, or I don't want them to see, like I wish them all the best when they go to other teams. I mean, you talked about it when we talked about Marner,
Mm-hmm.
and you're like, that guy's dead to you.
Yeah.
But to me, he was a loyal servant to the club. Loyal might not have been the best word, but
Yeah.
he was a servant to the club.
Okay. I mean, even that word, I don't know if you could say those words anymore.
Okay, but he was a servant to the club, so wish him.
You could say serviceman.
servant.
Okay, we'll go with that word.
This is actually very therapeutic.
It is, right?
It feels good.
Good. Because I want you to feel like this is a safe space.
Safe space.
All right. So I just want you to breathe and just really feel of how you got to this point, how this team got to this point, and just really let it out. And you got to just tell me if this team goes down this path, then what stage are you gonna get to?
You know? Realistically, the path that Calgary's on right now.
Yeah.
When you adopted team, I guess.
Yes.
That's where I want
Your step team.
my step team.
Your step team.
That's where I kind of direction, like if they're gonna actually, but the problem is I think the Leafs, they're gonna run it back next year.
Yeah.
I think they're just looking at it. Hey, we had like 4 or 5 years of like success, and this year was just a one-off year, and they're just gonna run it back the next year, and they're just gonna say, hey, this was just an off year. We're gonna run it back, and I don't think that's the case. I think they need to actually start looking more long term, like how Calgary did. It's getting me choked up. So emotional.
So I've been hearing this trauma, and I think this is just one of many therapies we're going to be going through over a certain amount of time.
Yep.
But from what I'm hearing right now, I think you have a severe blue and white denialism.
That's what you're
I
diagnosing.
think that's what you have, and we will definitely start working on this as the months go on. I do think that the best thing for you right now is to watch other teams, to see what that fan base is feeling, and maybe just make yourself feel like you deserve that kind of feeling. Because deep down, it feels like you're hurting yourself, and you want to be hurt. So you got to figure that out, and maybe just watch all these other teams, just try to feel how they feel, and maybe eventually you will let go of that cap or that shirt.
No. No, the worst part is as a Leafs fan, it's even tougher because you see the other Toronto teams have success. Toronto FC, successful. They won a couple MLS titles. Blue Jays, World Series final last year. Toronto Raptors won the NBA, the Naismith Trophy. So you see, even Argos won too. Yeah. So you see success with the other Toronto franchises. Why can't this team be successful?
This therapy time is running out, and I'm getting paid by the minute. So the last thing I would tell you is that for your homework, and for everybody's homework who are watching this as Leaf fans, is when you wake up in the morning, go in front of the mirror, stare into your eyes, just stare into the mirror and say, I cannot fix the Leafs. And you stare at yourself for a while, take a deep breath, and go on with your day every single day. And tell me how you feel after when we'll talk about in the next session. Sounds good?
Okay. In 2 weeks we'll do this again.
We'll do this again. Maybe we'll do this in the first round of the playoffs, and we'll see how you feel.
Yeah.
And we'll see if this really helps.
Well, it'll be nice because this year I won't have that stress in the playoffs because the Leafs aren't stressing me out, right?
Yeah, but what if there's an ex-Leaf player that's playing in the playoffs and he's absolutely tearing it apart, and you're like, why didn't you do this for us last year in the playoffs or the year before?
No, maybe it's just a change of. I don't blame. Like if a player has success somewhere else, like maybe it's just the environment in Toronto wasn't good for him. So I don't blame that.
Okay.
So like you know what I mean.
All right.
Sometimes like players they do well in Toronto and then they go to other places and they don't do well, right? Mm-hmm. So.
All right. So let's move on. Therapy is over. So now we could go back to being on the podcast. Hopefully that was not too heavy on your soul.
Oh, very heavy. That was very therapeutic.
All right. Okay. So you're rubbing the teddy bear.
Yeah, he. I think this has been very therapeutic for him too.
Do you want to hold on to him? Maybe put him on your lap?
I actually should have done it.
Yeah, I think you should have. I think I should have given you that.
My emotional support.
Yeah, I think we should start doing that moving forward. Have that for you. Okay, so I'm gonna list you a bunch of bubble teams, and you just tell me why they should make the playoffs and why they shouldn't. What happened? Why are you laughing?
I thought as a joke you might say the Leafs.
Hell no. Bro, we went through therapy. I'm not trying to add to your denialism.
No.
That's how it's going to go. All right, so I'm gonna tell you all these bubble teams, and you tell me the reason why they should make the playoffs and why they shouldn't. This is more like a little bit more like rapid fire.
Okay.
All right. The Winnipeg Jets. They are currently at 74 points. They are 3 points out of the wild card spot. They have the same amount of games as Nashville Predators.
In.
No. I'm not. I'm
Oh,
just
yeah.
saying.
Oh, yeah.
Give me a reason why they should make it and why they shouldn't.
Why they should be in? I think they've just been mangled by injuries all year, and I think now, like after the Olympic break, I think they've actually been on a good stretch.
Mm-hmm.
And one thing about Winnipeg too is I think they have the pieces to make a playoff run.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think they're like like a fringe team like a Nashville where they're like, do we have the pieces? Do we not? Like last year, like Nashville, everyone's like, hey, we need to tear this apart. We need to go into a rebuild. Whereas with Winnipeg, I think their intention was always to compete.
And why shouldn't they not make the playoffs?
I think like I'm completely for.
Oh, so no. I know that, but I'm saying you got to look at it as like a guy right in the middle. Like
Oh, okay.
You are.
Why shouldn't they?
Yeah. Why shouldn't they?
It's Winnipeg.
Okay.
I don't know. Like I don't know. I like my intention is I think Winnipeg Jets should make it in the playoffs. Why they shouldn't make it in the playoffs? Because I don't want a Canadian team to win the Stanley Cup until the Leafs win. So
The San Jose Sharks right now are at 73 points. They are 4 points behind, and they have 2 games in hand. Why do you think they should make the playoffs, and why they shouldn't?
So I think they should make the playoffs because I think they'll be one of the most entertaining teams to watch. A lot of young players coming up, and I think it'll be good experience for them. Like going forward, like sure they might not make a deep run, but I think in terms of like their future success, I think it'll be good for them to get a little bit of playoff experience.
Yeah.
And why they shouldn't make the playoffs? They're too young.
Okay. The Columbus Blue Jackets right now are currently sitting in the second wildcard spot, and we already talked about how
Hot they are, yeah.
how great they're being.
Yep.
So give me a reason why they should make the playoffs and why they shouldn't.
They're one of the hottest teams right now. So like, hey, you prove yourself in the regular season, you deserve to make it into playoffs. Why they shouldn't? Who wants to watch Columbus?
Wow, that was a very easy answer. Okay. All right, Detroit Red Wings.
Oh, are they on like a cusp?
They're right now sitting 1 point behind the Columbus Blue Jackets.
Oh,
Same amount of
jeez.
games.
Why they should? Historic franchise, I think. Like, they have, it'll be good. Maybe we go down, watch a game in Detroit.
They haven't made the playoffs in forever.
So I think it'll be good for the fan base too. And it's always nice seeing the wheel with the was it the wing? The winged wheel? The winged wheel?
Yes.
And then maybe we see some octopus flying. So
Yeah.
I think it'll be good to watch just history wise. I think it'll be good.
Why they shouldn't?
Yeah. Why they shouldn't? Man, they started off so hot and they kind of fell off.
Yeah.
And now I'm like, oh, do you even deserve to be in?
Stevie Y's entire his GM career right now is hanging by a thread in Detroit. But I mean, the good thing is if he gets fired, there's a high chance that Detroit will win the cup, just like Tampa, right?
Well, I was gonna say
There's
the craziest thing too is like they're on the cusp of like getting in, but their AHL team, like they're most likely gonna win the Calder this year, I think.
Yeah. The Philadelphia Flyers right now are 3 points behind the Columbus Blue Jackets with 1 game in hand. Why do you think they should make the playoffs and why they shouldn't?
I think they should. I think they play entertaining hockey, very physical. I like the way they play. Why they shouldn't? I think they'll beat other teams up too much.
You think so?
Yeah.
You think they're too physical?
They're too physical.
I don't know. I just think that for me with Philadelphia, they haven't been in the playoffs for so long.
Well,
but I think they would be overachieving if they made the playoffs.
Well, that's what I was gonna say
Like,
too.
there's too many good teams ahead of them that deserve it more.
That's one thing I was gonna say too. It was like, we were talking about it last week too with Philadelphia. Is like maybe they need to start like you always want to challenge, but they've never had a top like pick, right?
Well, they had Nolan Patrick.
Well,
Remember, we keep saying, you keep forgetting.
Yeah.
Yeah. Ottawa Senators right now.
Well, what are we
currently,
talking about? They had Martone last year.
he wasn't first overall.
No, he was like top 4 though.
Yeah. But he wasn't first overall.
Yeah,
We're
yeah.
just talking about first overall. The Ottawa Senators currently are 1 point behind the Columbus Blue Jackets with the same amount of games, 73. So why do you think they should make the playoffs and why they shouldn't?
They shouldn't at all.
Wow, that's the
That's
Leaf
it.
in you just kicked
That's
in.
it.
Okay, so why not?
Because they're a rival of the Leafs. So
And why do you think they should make the playoffs? And you got to give an answer, man.
I don't know. They've been playing hard all year, and I think they have like a good core group of guys.
Mm-hmm.
I don't wish them any success,
Mm-hmm.
but I think they've been playing well all year.
From all the wild card teams, I'll say in the East and West, just if you want to choose 2 of the wild card spots on both sides, who would you choose? If you think who you feel like deserve it the most.
Well, like entertainment wise, like
Mhm.
I want to see Utah make it because like I think they give
Okay.
teams trouble.
So that's one in the West.
And then the other team in the West, I want to see San Jose make it.
Okay, so that's 2.
Yeah.
So 1 and 2 wild card spot. So what about in the East?
I gotta check who's.
So here, I'll tell you.
Yeah,
I'll
yeah,
just-
go ahead,
I'll,
go
I'll
ahead.
list it to you. So right now, it's the Boston Bruins, the Columbus Blue Jackets, Detroit Red Wings, Ottawa Senators, Philadelphia Flyers, Washington Capitals, and then it's a drop off from after that too.
Yeah,
New
yeah.
Jersey
So I want
Devils.
to see Washington make it in.
Okay, so the first wild card spot,
No, second.
Okay.
I don't think they'll be able to make the. But I
Yeah.
want Washington.
they're pretty behind. but-
Yeah, I don't
Well,
think
they're
they
4
will.
points behind, but there's so many teams they got to leapfrog
Yeah,
over.
yeah. So I
Okay.
want to see them make it just because I want to see Ovechkin in the playoffs one more time.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, so there's that, and then other team. What were the teams again?
Boston Bruins, Columbus Blue Jackets, Detroit Red Wings, Ottawa Senators, Philadelphia Flyers.
Let's say Detroit
In Detroit.
because I hate Boston,
Mm-hmm.
and then I want to see
But
Detroit.
Boston has, man, they've been playing so good
No,
right now.
You're talking about emotionally scarred. They've given me the biggest emotional scar of my life.
You know, Pasta right now, I think he's at 923 points. He's close to 1,000. But if you go look at all the players around him, he's like 28. And all the other players that are around him, they're like in their late 30s. And he's going to hit 1,000, I think, by next year.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's crazy. All right. So you watched the video, Toronto Titans, Rane Carnegie, this lawsuit and how, you know, he's now kicked out. And there's what was it? Rick Jones, whatever that name was. Was that?
I don't know, something Jones.
Yeah, something Jones said that, you know, he did something and they kicked him out. They just used an excuse of kicking him out as a head coach. You said that you met his father?
I met Herb Carnegie.
Yeah.
He used to do the Future Aces stuff, so he came to our school a couple times.
Oh, nice.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Cool.
So yeah, like that case when I saw it on CTV, all of a sudden I was just like, see, this stuff exists in hockey, especially this like the racism, all this stuff, it still exists. This is nasty when it
I
comes
was
to hockey.
I was like, that's actually a good idea. They should have done this to get rid of what's his name? Who's the Leafs coach that Marner hated?
Bro, man, come on,
Should have filed a complaint to the league sooner.
bro. Yeah, I mean the Babcock thing.
Babcock.
Okay, yeah.
Maybe
I
get-
mean, yeah, no, for
No,
sure.
no,
But I'm just saying.
But on a serious note,
Yeah.
no, it's kind of disgusting, man.
Yeah.
Like you can figure out another way.
So
like
the first case kicks in where another coach said that I want to hit his son with the
With
hockey.
hockey
He
stick.
dreams of hitting him with a hockey stick.
yeah,
So he sent that complaint, and then a couple of months later, a complaint comes from this Rick Jones guy saying that Carnegie also did something, and they removed him. It just seems like it's an excuse of just getting rid of him, but now there's a lawsuit, and it's gonna get ugly.
countersuit, right?
Yeah, countersuit, and guarantee you there's gonna be no evidence as to why they fired him, and then you're gonna find all this discrimination and everything happening behind it. It's happening. It's happening even in the cities. It's just not like, oh, it's a rural thing. It happens in other countries. Yeah, it happens everywhere.
Mhm.
Hockey. There's a lot of things in hockey that shows you a lot of ugliness in society.
No, and like big on like the media for kind of picking this up. A lot of stuff gets swept under the rug, right?
But I think it's because he also has a name too.
Oh,
That's
yeah.
the reason why
Oh,
the
100%.
story's out.
Yeah.
But if it was a person like just you and me, I think it would have just been swept under the rug.
We would have been talking about it on the podcast.
Yeah, we would have been yelling about it, and then luckily, I think some people would listen to it. But if there's some other person that's just a everyday person who just works and doesn't
Ricky
have
Jones.
a voice,
Yeah.
yeah, exactly. You just maybe go on Twitter or something, and then 10 people hear it, and then nobody.
Nothing
wants to.
really happens.
Nothing
Yeah.
happens. It happens a lot. So, anyways, I saw that. I'm gonna follow that case and see where it heads.
Where it
off.
goes.
Yeah.
Oh, it's crazy too. Like you're that desperate to get rid of a coach. Like
Yeah.
you couldn't think of something else. Like you had to fabricate, like BS or something to get rid of him.
But why even choose a side?
Yeah.
Like, why are you even trying to eliminate something?
Mhm.
See, this is where I hate when a lot of leagues and sponsorships, and they always say that, oh, we're fighting for equality, we're doing this and that. And deep down, they all think like this. This is literally how they do it. If it doesn't hit their bottom line, if it's affecting their, it's affecting their what is it called, their marketing, or is affecting their bottom line,
Fine, yeah.
then they will do anything to
No,
get rid
there's
of it.
even
Because that's
like
the deep truth.
Well, even on the side, there's so much politics involved, right?
Yeah.
Not even like, so how many hockey teams, like even tryouts and stuff have you been where like the best player in the tryouts has gotten cut because he's not the coach's son or he wasn't on
Yeah.
his old team or something like that,
Yeah,
right?
happens all the time.
Yeah.
Like a lot of times coaches already know the entire roster
Yeah.
before the tryouts even begin.
Yeah.
Because either they got paid on the side or they like how these kids play or whatever it is. And you come for a tryout, they're just wasting your time. They take like this entry fee money and then that's it.
That's
They're
it.
like, "Oh, yeah, we
I
don't
was
need
just
you."
going to say, like, you got to pay to try out.
Yeah.
And then what's the point,
Yeah.
right?
They already decided.
Yeah. Even, you were talking like you went to a game and people thought you were scouts and stuff. Like
Oh,
you
yeah.
see how much money, like people start coming up to
There
you,
was
giving you
a-
cash, like telling you, hey, I do renovations on what washrooms just to get their kids play. Like imagine how much money like these coaches are making, right?
Yeah.
Even at a minor level.
Yeah, me and Armand did that 2 years ago. We were just bored. We just went to I think it was like a under 12 game in Kitchener, and I just had my leather jacket on. Came, sat down. I think that there was a TikTok video too where they do the whole joke. They make it seem like they're
scouts,
they're
yeah.
scouts, and then parents are coming and they're like, oh, you know, they're trying to give money and stuff, and they're trying to just find, you know, what happens, what truly happens when what parents want to do to get their kids to move forward.
No, and you
But
can't-
that never helps in the long
well,
run.
I was gonna say you can't blame the parents.
Can you not really like?
Well, you know, the parents only want the best for their
Is
kid.
that the best?
Well, no, but like they want their kids to play, right? So like same thing, like Lance Stroll. We're talking F1 now, but Lawrence Stroll
Oh my God,
bought
yeah, I
a
know.
team
Wow.
so his
That guy
son
should
could
not be.
drive,
That guy
right?
should not be driving in a Formula One.
So like you know what I mean? Like I don't fault the parents. It's like more so on the coaches not to get biased, I guess. But it's so tough too, right? Like
Yeah, but I think when it comes to teaching your kid values, if you're giving money out to coaches and trying to get your kids to move forward, you're not really teaching your kid anything. You can be
No.
like, you could be a slob and lazy as long as daddy
that's-
could
no,
cover all your,
I get that.
you know,
Yeah.
sure, don't make it to AAA. Whoopee.
No,
Then what?
it doesn't.
Then you're just gonna be a sore loser for the rest of your life.
No,
And then whenever things don't come to you easy, you're gonna
builds
Cry
the
about
wrong
it?
mentality.
Is that the
Like
type of,
you're
you know?
right. You're 100%. Like it's gonna be like my dad will just get me this far rather than my hard work and work ethic, right?
Yeah.
No, I agree with you there, but I see where the parents are coming from. Like they just want their kids to play, right?
yeah. But
But
I
it's
also
wrong.
think, you're teaching your kid that
The wrong idea.
It's good to be a monster as long as it benefits you.
No, 100%. I agree with you.
So it's not, you're not teaching your kid anything. You're actually teaching the kid that don't just try to take shortcuts as much as possible.
Yeah.
It's okay. Hard work. You don't need hard work
Cash
when
rules
you got
everything around
money.
me.
Yeah.
Cream.
I know. I don't want to cream. All right. There you go. All right. So the last thing, we'll just wrap this entire episode off. So the good thing is, in a couple of days, on Thursday, we're going on a road trip, a Metropolitan road trip. Finally, we've been talking about it. Now it's finalized.
Happening. Yeah.
It's going to be sweet. Your therapy session, I think I'll be there for 4 days to watch
That's
you,
it.
see if you
And-
grow.
And I'll get to watch other teams.
Yeah, so the first game we're going to be watching is going to be the Philadelphia Flyers versus the Detroit Red Wings, which is going to be a very interesting game in Philadelphia. So that's our first game on Thursday night. I think that would be nice to try to see. Maybe have some, Philly cheesesteak,
Oh, yeah.
afterwards,
A beverage.
a beverage and everything. So we're going to be staying at the first night on Thursday. Then Friday, we're going to Long Island, the old Coliseum, man, Nassau Coliseum, to watch the Philadelphia Flyers again. Because there's no other teams playing on Friday. There's only 2 games. One, I think, is in Anaheim. This one was in the East Coast. So we chose this game. So anyways, we're going to Long Island. It's going to be fun. I heard it's a very loud arena. So that'll be fun. And then Saturday night.
Is that the same arena they won in the 80s?
Yeah.
Oh,
Because
geez.
they went to the Brooklyn.
That's
and then
right.
They came back.
They came back.
Yeah.
Because I think the Brooklyn were, or I think the team was complaining the ice wasn't good there.
It
or
wasn't
something like
good. And I think it's not
that.
really.
Conflicted too much
That
with
too.
basketball. And
Yeah.
I think the arena, when they made it to, it wasn't meant for
It's not meant
hockey.
for hockey. Yeah.
Yeah.
So Saturday, we're driving down to Washington to watch them play against the Buffalo Sabres, which is going to be a real fun game.
Yeah.
And hopefully,
That was the whole idea of the trip.
The whole idea
Yeah.
was to watch Alexander Ovechkin and Sidney Crosby on this road trip. That if somehow Ovechkin retired this year, then
At
at
least
least
we
we
could
could
say.
see him one last time, right? So we're gonna get to see him there, and then after that, on a Sunday, we're seeing the Pittsburgh Penguins play against the Florida Panthers. Hopefully Sidney Crosby's healthy because he got injured again.
Yeah.
So hopefully he's healthy for the Sunday afternoon game. And then we'll be driving home. Hopefully be home by midnight. And then
You got to go into work the next day.
And then maybe do a podcast on a Monday if we can. I don't know.
We'll see.
We'll see. But I think it'll be fun, man. We've been looking forward to this thing. We'll make some shorts and stuff and show the adventures. But yeah, this is my first proper hockey road trip.
Maybe I'll find a new adopted team.
Yeah, we'll be on search for that. Maybe give you a sign or something.
Maybe.
Just we're gonna be pushing around like a marketing thing for a hockey podcast. See, sounds good. How you have anything else to say, man?
No, I'm excited to maybe get a taste of winning. See one of these teams do well.
Do you think it's gonna be the Buffalo Sabres, man? Man, that team's pretty exciting.
Oh yeah, maybe. Yeah, and they're close by too.
Yeah, exactly.
It's the next closest team.